Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
Hello, everyone.
What up, everybody? It's good to see you. Sorry I'm late here. I have a problem with my one of my contacts,
Close the
guys.
roll. Calculated
Won't
the vote.
seem to go in.
12 ayes.
Guys, give me one moment.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go run into the other room and fix this contact.
Next, sir,
bothering me. So please give me a second here.
Item
I'll
5
be right
and
back.
6.
Enjoy your.
All right. Items
You know,
5
again,
and 6.
we're not
Councilmember
very late. We're late by 1 minute.
Rodriguez.
So relax. That's what I say. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Councilmember Rodriguez, would you like to have the vote on 5 and 6 together or separately, please?
5, 6 together is fine. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, colleagues. Items, and I'm going to refer a little bit to 3 as well. So items 3, 5, and 6 today are about demanding greater accountability with respect to the expenditures and the work that we're investing in homelessness. Tragically, we continue to see a lack of information being forthcoming, providing to this council. We continue to demand the same information. What was of particular concern was discovering even some of the outcomes associated with litigation and issues that should have been brought to our attention by the city attorney's office not being forthcoming to this council. And so this isn't anything that we should be trying to demand by legislative means, but unfortunately, given the circumstances, we continue to find ourselves in that dynamic. I want to thank Mr. Blumenfield for his amendment on 3, which I feel will help to further embolden some of the requirements that we are seeking and just understanding how our dollars are being spent, what the accountability and outcomes are associated with that work. It's very basic and simple information, but there's a continued hiding of the ball of these circumstances, and it's frustrating that we continue to ask the same questions repeatedly in committee, or that so many of the reports are often delayed in coming back to us in a timely fashion. But what is, again, most concerning is that I want to make sure that it's really clearly expected that the city attorney's office needs to be providing us an understanding of what the policy implications are associated with litigation, what we can or cannot do, and it should be provided to this council in a timely fashion. That's not a question, it's not a request, it's an expectation. And it should be standard operating protocol, and that unfortunately has not been the case. And so unfortunately we have to memorialize these things by legislative means, but I just want to make sure that everyone's clear that this isn't how we should be working in support of one another to help address one of the greatest crises this city has ever faced. And so with that, colleagues, I thank you and I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you so much. All right. So those items are before us now.
That would be 5 and 6. Yes, because 3 is held on the desk for an amendment that will occur after public comment.
I was just going to talk about it and do it all.
Got it. Okay. So items 5 and 6 are before us. Let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
All right. Now we'll go to item number 6. This is one that Mr. Price. I'm sorry, item number 4.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Price is recusing himself on item number 4.
All right.
All right. And Mr. McCosker, you have comments on item number 4?
Thank you very much, President and members. I'll urge an aye vote on this. I think it will be without controversy, but I want to just make sure that especially HACLA understands what we are looking at with this motion. We have 14 large developments, HACLA developments in the city of Los Angeles that go from the San Fernando Valley to San Diego.
Shout out to the Section 8 welfare.
And, those have approximately 6,300 units. We have almost 20,000 families living in these developments, and we have a range of recreational facilities at each one of the developments, and we have a range of maintenance and the quality of maintenance.
You don't maintain shit. The landlord maintains it.
In some cases,
Buckethead.
in many cases. And what this does is gives us an opportunity to see, what are the recreational facilities in each of our districts, and for these 20,000 families, what are the maintenance plans? What are the opportunities?
I'm going to make my own shirt that says "Cry me a river to the
outside
sea."
Groups, which we do
Wear that one for you
successfully in
guys,
some
too.
areas, less successfully in others, and to come back and make sure that we are providing a quality of life and recreational
Hi, Lonnie.
opportunities
How are ya?
for these deserving
Hopefully you're
families.
feeling well.
So I would urge an aye vote.
I see a
Thank you
repo
so
article.
much,
I did
Mr.
not.
McCosker. Ms. Rodriguez.
Thank you.
Wade?
Thank you, Mr. McCosker. We also have, currently, we're waiting for
No,
the
Stinks
Department
doesn't
of
eat for
Recreation
another
and Parks
hour,
to
10
provide a
minutes.
facilities assessment
Hi,
for
Crow.
us as well. I know at the San Fernando
Clark ain't
Gardens,
wearing a
we have
mask?
the adjacent
Okay.
David Gonzalez Park.
I guess
And
the
so,
the whole
a lot of
shamdemic's
it's a
over,
lot of shared
finally,
recreation space,
5 years
and
later.
So I think that will also really
Maybe she flattened the
support
curve
exactly what
last
you're talking
week.
about, because we need to make sure that a lot of these
Flatten the curve.
folks that are living in these areas have access to the most, the most active and well
Yeah, it was a
supported
good game last night.
recreational
Came
space
back and beat the
opportunities.
Senators
We
after
saw
being down the whole game.
impacts through COVID, and they can't stay
Through
in
COVID?
their apartments. They need really wonderful open space to have access to. And so I agree with you 100%, appreciate that. And for Rec and Parks, if they're listening, I know they're also looking at, we're very eager to see that facilities assessment report.
Hooker
All right.
Rodriguez, what's up, Vaughn?
Seeing no other members, this item is before us. So open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11
Watch
ayes.
on this live shit. Shout out to 8.
All right. What's next?
Mr. President.
Holy shit, she should put the
next
mask
would
back
be
on.
public comment on
God
agenda
damn.
items,
She
sir.
looked better with the
Shall
mask.
I read the instructions?
Didn't have to see
Yes,
the rest
please.
of that.
As indicated
She
on
was
the
like mask
agenda,
sore right here on her
members of the
face.
public wishing to offer
From wearing a
public
mask
comment
all
should call
fucking for the last 4 years like a moron.
669-254-5252
Guessing she doesn't
and
know how to
use
read or
meeting
doesn't
ID
go on a
number
3M site
160-535-8466
who made the best mask possible.
and then press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID.
Anybody wanna
Once
call in? There's the
admitting
number.
to the meeting, press star
669
9 and request to
254
speak.
5252.
When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6 to unmute.
Hi, Briley.
Again, call 669-254-5252 and use
She
meeting
was just
ID
wearing it.
number
Doesn't she know she's gonna die by taking it off just for a moment?
160-535-8466 and then
She's
press
dead by the
pound.
end of the day,
Press
probably. I
pound
mean, who
again when
knows?
prompted
That's a
for
dangerous
participant
disease.
ID.
The curve has
Once
not been
admitted
flattened.
to the meeting, press star 9
She
and
may
request
be
to
very
speak.
sick by
When
the end of the
it's your
day.
turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6 to unmute.
People providing public comment when it is your turn to
Morons,
speak,
JC
either
101.
at the podium or on the phone.
Morons.
Please state
Puppets.
which of the agenda items
You know,
you
there's
would like
more
to speak
puppets
to.
in this world than there
You will
are
have
free
1 minute per
thinkers.
item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. We will tell you when your time is up. When
I mean,
speaking on the
realistically, at
agenda
this point,
items,
ladies
you
and
must be
gentlemen,
on
anybody
topic.
and everybody
Our
you
goal is
see
to get
wearing a
through as many
mask are
speakers
just
as we
letting
can.
you know who they vote for.
If you are not on topic,
They're all Democrats. You
or
don't see
if we cannot
Republicans
tell
wearing
whether
masks
you are on
anymore.
topic.
You don't. You
You
don't.
will get one
Even
brief
they have gone
warning
past it.
from me or the president.
You don't.
At that point,
you know right away.
need to get
Democrat.
immediately and
Boom.
clearly on topic.
They're telling
If
you
do
who
not
they
do
are.
So, you will forfeit the rest of your
They might as well
speaking time,
wear a
and
big
we will
shirt
move
with
on
a
to the next
donkey on it.
speaker.
Because that's what
The
they are.
items
They're
open
donkeys.
For public comment
You know?
are number
Through
3
and
as
through.
amended and 8 through 26. So let me repeat for everyone in the room.
Shout out to
and
all
for
you
people on the
donkeys out
phones,
there.
The items that are open for public
We know who
comment
you are.
item number 3 as amended and items 8 through 26. Members of the public may also speak for up to
Only
1 minute for
jackasses.
general public comment. During general public comment, members of the public may speak to any of the other items.
I don't
or
see any,
anything else
Moto.
in the city's subject matter jurisdiction.
Only the morons on one side.
For members of the public calling in,
I'm
when
guessing
it
you
is your
thought that
turn
was
to
a great
speak,
state of an
an
address,
automated
too.
message from
State of the
Zoom
Union
will prompt
address,
you to press
too.
star 6
Lincoln
to unmute
Riley.
yourself. If you do not do so, council staff will prompt
Shout
you
out to
once
Lake
more.
and Riley. Rest
At
in
that
peace.
point, you need to immediately unmute yourself.
May
or
she be resting
unfortunately,
peacefully.
You will forfeit your speaking time, and we will have to move on to the next call.
And hopefully that illegal
Finally,
alien piece of
because
dog
of the brief
shit
time delay between the live meeting
gets
and the
his
broadcast.
live
two
on
things are
camera.
important. First, if you're a call-in
Pay-per-view
speaker
even.
while waiting for your turn to speak, please keep an ear to the phone so you know in real time when it is your turn to press star 6 to unmute. Second, if you're listening to this meeting on another device, please turn down the volume
what's
on
up,
that
Terry?
device
How are ya?
immediately when it is your turn to speak. Between the feedback and time delay, it will cause a great deal
Isn't
of
it
confusion
Lincoln,
if you continue
Stacy?
to listen on your other devices. Thank you.
Fucking Roomba Joe.
All right, we'll call out our first set of speakers. When you hear
Son
your
of
name come up,
Furnace,
you
my
can come up in
dad
any
told
order,
me.
as long as your
Furnace,
name is called.
Furnace, taxes going up. Furnace, Donald Trump.
Adam Smith, General Dogan.
General Dogan? I want to know who General Dogan is. Which one's General Dogan? Furnace. What's up, Just Me? Which one's General Dogan, guys? Which one of these three?
Hello. Morning. If you could please remind us of the
Is that
name you
Anchor
signed up
or
under, any
Encore?
items you would like to speak to?
Actually, I signed up for multiple items, but it looks like you guys closed them at this only.
Oh, of course they did.
Open.
They don't want to hear you talk.
Sorry, can you pull the mic? Thank you.
Thank you.
Why did they thank anybody here? Why did they thank anybody here?
Number
For
three,
what?
I was told is number 3 is only open right now, but I signed up for multiple items, so.
Sorry, my
Only
guy.
items that are open for public comment currently are...
Too bad. Furnace. I love how only half the
Item
room got
number
up and
3
clapped
as
for him.
amended, and items
Only
8
the
through
puppets
26.
clapped for him.
So you have 1 minute for item number 3, and please let me know if there's
What's up,
another item
Dustin?
between 8 and
First
26.
of all, the 1 minute is not enough for this the subject, but I'm trying to do my best.
You
So,
already burned 15 of your 1
the
minute.
thing is, the regulation that you guys put in place is destroying the landlord's right and making me become homeless, even though I have my home. But because of this regulation, the tenants are bullying the landlord, and we can't do nothing. They are damaging our property. We can't do nothing about it. We can't evict them. They are bullying us and asking us for too much money. And even when we offer them some money, they are asking for more than $24,000, and they're gonna think about it if they decide to move out. This regulation is killing our right and making me homeless. So I don't know, how do you guys think about this process and killing our right? I'm citizen. I have right too. I pay taxes. I pay more taxes than the tenant. But how come my right is not protected, and they are taking advantage of abusing of the regulation against me?
Because you're not a fucking illegal immigrant. If you were a fucking illegal immigrant who came through the fence in this last year or so, then you'd have plenty of rights.
Your time is concluded.
So leave the country, come back through the gate, and you'll get a free ATM card, a free Obama phone, a free pre-filled out ballot.
This is your only.
You'll get it all, buddy. That's all you got to
We
do.
need you to vacate the podium. Thank you.
That's all you got to do.
Next speaker.
That's it. Sounds like he's Persian to me, Daryl. If I had to guess and put money down on it, I'd say that man is a Persian man.
Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning. My name's Adam Smith from the...
Sir, we can't cover up our timer. We need to be able to see that.
Sorry.
Which items would you like to speak to?
My name's Adam from the LA CAN Human and Civil Rights Committee, and I'd like to speak on number
free
3
healthcare,
as
free
amended,
schooling.
and number 8.
So item number... Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items. Please begin.
You're so nice. Thank you. So again, I'm from the LA CAN Human and Civil Rights Committee. I'm holding my sign that says 270 days overdue, and Mr. Grote, I will get to the point. Number 3 is relative to developing a program evaluation framework in connection with existing and future homeless program contracts. And so it's always worth naming in this place when certain motions and certain items seem to continue to get bypassed, like Councilmember Yaroslavsky's motion on the 4118 report back that's 270 days overdue, that you're going to vote on something about evaluating a framework around homeless contracts when no one in this room, as far as I can tell, has asked publicly where the report back on 4118 is. We've been waiting 270 days since the 60-day report back was due, and it's still not here. Should I switch to number 8, Mr. Grote?
Yes, please.
Great. Will do. Number 8 is about City of LA experiencing extreme conditions caused by rainstorms. On Wednesday morning, one of our members at LA Can was following the directions from the city as always and moved his stuff an hour before it started downpouring, and they crushed his shelter. They targeted him. And so while these sweeps continue to happen, while the reset team from LAPD is driving around at Skid Row every day, targeting people and citing them for 4118, using 4118 to pull people out of tents and run them for parole and probation, arresting people on old warrants for not being able to pay tickets. This is what 4118 is doing.
Warrants are warrants, buddy. Just because they're old doesn't make them not valid.
It's 270 days overdue. I've got color copies if you like those.
Okay.
Next speaker.
A warrant is a warrant. What? Just because they were able to evade capture and arrest, that just makes it okay. Well, they're good now. You made it a whole year without being captured, so it's no good anymore, man.
If you could please remind us of the name you signed up for.
Fuck out of here.
Items
Yank them out of that tent, throw their tent away, and put them in jail.
Number 8.
Be done with it.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items.
So yeah, y'all good at collecting, doing reports, calling for motions, doing evaluations. You know, y'all been doing that since 1751. You know, but we don't never see no results from these reports. Right?
Braden?
Like this one. 270
Sir,
days late.
You cannot cover up our timer. You need to move your sign.
That's too.
It is to the motion. What are you talking about?
There's Spindler.
Sir,
You're covering the timer in front of the podium. There you go. You're good. Now you're good.
Go ahead. Continue.
And so
Sorry,
I
guys.
want 3 minutes back for that.
I want 3
And
minutes
so
back.
just like I was saying, y'all good at calling for reports, but we don't never see no results of them.
Oh.
You know, unless y'all use them for y'all benefit. That's the reason why we don't ever see no results.
Look at Spindler walking in, flicking
But
him.
then the other,
Oh,
thing
the
I was
hoodie's there.
About number 8, right?
There he is. What the hell happened? Hold on, guys. What the fuck? How did it
Never
mute?
get
Sorry,
the
guys.
call
Fuck, it's
about
muted.
emergencies. Just like COVID-19, where KDL ass go. So, I'm gonna let him. He didn't come out and give us no masks during COVID-19. It was LA Can that had to make masks and pass them out to people in the community. Create COVID-19 information, tell them how to protect themselves. Create hand washing stations. Right? We did that.
Hand washing
When the serial
stations.
killer was just running around, we didn't get no warning from the city. Where was CD14?
So,
None
Speaker,
of that.
the emergency
Hurricane
related to the
Hillary was out. It's
rainstorms in
related.
February.
When
So I
Hurricane
need you to connect
Hillary
it
was
back
here,
to
we
the
didn't
item.
get no warning. Right? We didn't get none of that.
Hurricane Hillary with.
The last storm just came by, we didn't get jack. But then when it's all over, we can get sanitation punk ass to come around here and take people property and move people around. Right? And
Okay, next speaker.
When Hurricane Hillary done came in, we didn't get nothing.
That's your time.
Stephen
Hurricane.
Luffman, Richard Shave,
I love it.
Dylan Littlefield, Goat Puppet,
Goat
Michael
Puppet.
Pitkin,
in
Robert
time.
Kwan, Andrew G.
Andrew G. Oh, Andrew Gregman.
Good morning.
Guys,
Which items would you like to speak to?
All items on the agenda.
It's only
but
one,
this is
right?
not public comment also.
It's not general public comment.
Okay,
correct.
I'll come
So
back.
You have 3 minutes for the items.
okay,
Thanks.
under
Great.
over
Appreciate
22,
you. Look
guys.
sharp today.
2-2.
Item 3, the homeless issue. You know, it's
I'm
one
sorry.
of the,
Can you pause this? Hold on, just 1 second. Sorry, Speaker. This is your only formal
that
warning.
Spindler?
Please do not disrupt this
moment.
meeting. And that is the speaker in the black and gray camouflage jacket. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, all right. Anyway, the homeless issue. It's huge. We know of it. But the problem is 4118 was brought before this council. You folks said you would get it back, and here we sit. And we know it's a big issue. One of the things I've been discussing with people is being the executor on putting together a show where we already have a name for it, where we interview the people that come here and find out why they come here. What is it that makes them so angry that they want to challenge you folks? So I hope that we can put this together and just bring a little more clarity to the city,
I'm sorry.
especially with items like
Mr.
4118.
Candido, I can't tell which item you're talking.
The
speaking to.
homeless.
Moxie,
the homeless
yeah, what are you
issue.
talking about? Come
so
on, man.
we'll
Come
move on.
Moxie.
Let's go on to the lighting
We
district.
talked just yesterday. Stop.
11324 Strathern. Very hard-working people there. People that are janitors, construction people. 3 times their cars have been stolen in the last few weeks. 11324 Strathern. Whoever district that is, I hope that you take care of the problem. And again, I just hope that all these individuals who are coming here who have something to say that will allow us to interview them so that we can make sure more people hear what their causes are.
That's Rob Kwan.
And I'll be back for public comment. Thank you.
The Great Panderer, everybody. He's not 50 guns. That is retired. He's the Great Panderer. That's Rob Kwan.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Morning, Grote. I'd like to speak on items 3, 8, and 24. There's no general comment?
Today's the 8th.
Not at this
He's wearing
time.
the Kobe
Yes,
jersey
3
for the
minutes
8th day of the month.
Want to start out with a shout out to Smoke and Scan. And item number 3, just want to reiterate, we shouldn't be having any homelessness contracts being entered into until we get that 4118 report back. So if we could move on that, it'd be really nice. Number 8 is regarding flooding and a state of emergency. And I think we need a state of emergency related to the illegal political activity of Council President Krikorian flooding the inboxes of journalists with commentary
Mr.
about
Kwan,
elections.
I need you to connect this to the emergency that's at issue, and that's related to the rainstorms in February.
Grote, I love how much you smiled while you tried to say that.
Tell him, Rob. Give him the shit.
So yeah, for item number 24.
Can you hold his time for a second? Mr. Smith, you're instructed to not disrupt this meeting. This is your first and only formal warning. Sorry, go ahead.
Look at that
For the
hair
record,
today.
I appreciated the moral support.
Definitely
Mr.
not
Smith.
combed.
Item number 24 is on lighting in Council District 2, and I think we need a whole lot more lighting in Council District 2. Ethically speaking, Emperor Krikorian wears no clothes, and that is an absolutely hideous sight. I want you to demand that he cover himself up and either repent or resign. Councilmember Rodriguez, you always talk about getting us off the merry-go-round from hell. You try to block commission appointments when they don't file a Form 700. This is so bad. And Caro's got his hands all over this.
Why do you watch then,
He's looking
Jane?
for his next home and his next job. So I want to respect the time, and I'm quite off topic, so I'll leave it here. Thank you, Grote. Look forward to seeing you later.
Shout out to Rob Kwan.
Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
Good morning, Council members. Stephen Luffman, I'd like to speak on general public comment in item number 27.
Remember, over 22. He's up next.
Actually, we're not currently holding general public comment at this time. That will be held later in this meeting. And I believe item number 27 is not open for public comment. So are there any of the other items you would like to speak to?
Nope.
Okay.
Here he is. Here he is.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
All right. Good morning to the now 74% of City 14 who voted against KDL. All items, and are we still following ethics violation, Paul's unilateral rules changes on general
again,
comment?
you have 3 minutes for the items. Please begin.
All right, so let's start off. I think you reopened item 3, so I'll just say that that you should provide services to the unhoused that actually help them and get them housed rather than sweeping and harming them. Let's see. Let's move on to the agenda items that you're actually going to have heard before the whole council, instead of having only 3 of them hear it and consider that sufficient. We have item 8.
That was
which is related to the rainstorms. Yeah, you did your little stuff, but yet you were continuing to do sweeps right before the rainstorms, So the unhoused people were out on the street. You often had literally just taken all their shelter away, so they were just sitting out on the street, getting wet. I know you couldn't control it, but schools were still open, work was still open, so people were having to go out in this rainstorm when we were being told to stay home. But apparently, it's completely safe to go out if you need to go serve your do your part in serving capitalism. We have, let's see, we got street lighting districts. We have, let's see. Hang on. Let's see, we've got, no, there's very little that you actually let us speak on. We have the Academy Awards on item 25. We could do the awards to kind of make it it seems like you're all trying to win an award for worst council member.
20.
Let's see. So
that was funny.
But you should try to make sure that the Academy Awards don't actually minimize the disruption on the local communities and such. And there should be no sweeps as part of this, as part of the Academy Awards. No unhoused people should be displaced for this. So let's do that. Yeah, and I guess I have to do general comment later because the guy who endorsed someone using his official campaign
this is not on our
statements
agenda, so
changed
again,
the
you
rules
can use
without
your
a
last
vote.
10 seconds on an agenda item.
27 ums. The over wins.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak to.
Michael Pitkin, number 3.
With 1 minute for item number 3.
According to census.gov, they've had a consistency of about 10 million people in LA County, of percent white, 8% black, 15% Asian, and 2% all remaining.
What's up, John?
There has been about 2 million dreamers in California, 1 million of those in LA County. There's about 7 million homes in LA County. And today I ask that dreamers, a new category, be created for this agenda item and every LA City agenda item to start collecting data and statistics for the United Nations. The United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs.
I'm sorry, Speaker, I can't tell which item you're speaking
Number
to.
3.
What's up, Sicko?
I'm going to need you to bring
What's
it
up,
back
Trust?
to the
What
item.
up, 60 Patriot? Mike?
Okay.
Zug Zug?
Data and statistics
Good to see you
inform
guys.
every decision we make for the United Nations.
That's it. You better start collecting for the UN. I know this guy's going to rip into him. He usually does. Forget his name. Steve something or other, I think.
Good morning. Which
Good
items
morning,
would you like to
Counselor.
speak to?
I'm going to speak to all items, but I'm just going to put me for timer for 1 minute. That's
Okay,
fine.
so you have 1 minute per your request.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to talk about this gentleman here that's from Iran regarding his property.
Iran. He's Iranian.
What you should do
Not
as
Persian.
members of the public is the following. As a proud, longtime member of the LA Law Library, just refer them to the Law Library. That's it. I know you can't give legal advice because some people here are not attorneys. Just refer them to the Los Angeles Law Library. That means you're giving them something positive. By telling them to go off and we can't comment, Counselor, you should know better. Thank you.
All right, guys. Viewer discretion is advised. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Yes, good morning, acting mayor. All fucking items.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items. Please begin.
Yes. And number 1, Kevin fucking up already? Shame on you, Mr. Lion. Look at this taxing. Little Tokyo attacking those nice
So item
people.
number 1 is not on the
Hold on a
agenda.
second, let me grab
So we're not open for public comment. So please stick to the items.
It's on my agenda.
I'm rushing. Hold on.
Number
I'm rushing.
fucking 1, fucking 21 dash fucking 1155.
I'm sorry, continue.
Fucking, yeah. Is that right? Yes. Can you give me my 10 seconds back you stole from me, Mr. Helium-filled brain? Of course not. How about you, Marchese? Give me some time back. He interrupted me. You're off topic, Mr. Grote. Now, Kevin fucked up. Why is Kevin taxing Little Tokyo when he took away their street parking? He raised all the parking, destroying businesses, and now he wants to tax them. No on Kevin De Leon for re-election. No. If you're going to continue to do that, then I'm going to support Unisys candidate, Isabel. Is she second place? She'll be there soon. Then number 3, we have the existing and future homeless contracts. Fuck those contracts. Give me the contract. I'll just take a bulldozer and I'll just run it across the fucking sidewalks and clean this trash out in the street. And then I'll call services. John Lee's the chair of that committee. Together, me and John Lee, or is it John Lee and I? John Lee and I.
John Lee and
We
I.
will together clean
Guy?
all of the homeless off all the sidewalks while he works with the FBI. Thank you. Then we have some other crap. CD4? Am I going to say number 17? No, we're going to wait. We're going to wait, but you know you fucked up at number 17. Those of you that support Weaver, look at number 17. You'll know to vote no on her. Is it that bad? Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I'm very upset. And then let's get to the Racist Academy Award.
You're right, BJ. I was right, and then I was wrong.
The AMPS. Doesn't Nithya have a conflict of interest? Marchese? Her husband's in the studio business. I think that Nithya should recuse herself from voting on item 25.
Me too.
Because it might benefit her husband. Conflict of interest. Where's Rob Kwan? You didn't pick up on that. I'm penalizing you.
Look at him laughing back there. He's laughing.
Yes, and finally, we will get to the other item.
Look at his smile. You can see it from here.
Time. 24. Paul Krikorian did a good job. I'll be back to tell you to fuck your mothers on general comment. Thanks.
Oh, I fucking love him. I'll be back to tell you to fuck your mother. Oh, so yes, BJ, you are right. I was right the first time, wrong the second, I guess. But shit, yeah. See, he is Persian.
All right. We'll go to public comment by telephone.
Oh, come on, get off there. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen
Caller
Mr.
ending in
Herman
5404, please press *6 to unmute.
Here we go with the phone calls.
To speak on 3, 8, and 24.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items. Please begin.
Great. For number 8, every time it rains in my neighborhood, we have massive flooding. There are streets that become unpassable. And I think it's really important that we address flooding, because I think when we don't, it makes people lack confidence in their government when streets become impassable. But I think it's also important that we address all the things that make people lack confidence in their government, like when the president of the council sends out an email that blatantly violates ethics guidelines. Now, my neighborhood is very upset about the flooding that we have repeatedly seen and not had addressed. It's very dangerous. But I think we're also very upset about how dangerous it is when the president of the council sends precedent that will influence the rest of the council. For item 3, this is an item about transparency and accountability. And I do think that that's very important with our homelessness spending. But I think that we need to be thinking about that in a global manner. We need to be thinking about transparency, and we need to be thinking about accountability in all the ways, in how we have report backs,
still in there?
in how LAFTA
You gotta
reports
refresh.
to us, in how we address blatant ethics violations. Item number 24, that's a lighting item. And it's always really interesting to me how these lighting districts work. If the people who are part of that lighting district say no, the lighting district won't happen. We had a developer in our neighborhood promise us lighting
still
for
live.
a new building that was going to go up, but then when the vote came, they just
On
didn't
YouTube.
do it. And I think when you see this sort of blatant hypocrisy of promises made but not delivered, it really reminds me of what Council President Krikorian is doing with ethics, because there's a lot of talk about making things lighter and brighter and better for the public, but not a lot of action. So I think that, you should approve all these items, 3, 8, and 24, but I think that you need to think globally about how we're actually addressing ethical issues and how we're actually addressing accountability and how we're actually addressing making the city functional. Lighting is important. Flooding is important. Addressing homelessness is important. You will never have any confidence in your work when you do these kinds of things that are blatantly unethical and then don't hold your colleagues accountable. To me, it feels like the only time that you guys stand up is when you want to go stretch your legs during public comment. Thanks so much.
Hi, Jersey girl. I'm good. How are you? Just hanging out with the fam, listening to the babble.
Next caller.
Missing Mr. Harlan and Mr. Herman and a
All
few
the
others.
fucking items, please.
Oh, that's
Good
Stacy.
morning. So you have 3 minutes for the items. Please begin.
That's Stacy.
Okay, start with a shout out to Smoke and Scan. Glad to see you streaming this morning. Let's go to item number 1. We got Little Tokyo Business Improvement District. I love Little Tokyo. I just hope these business improvement districts are considering what the workers are making and making sure that people can afford to live in the neighborhoods where they work. Let's go to number 3, as amended. LASA is a mess. All of these programs and studies, all they do is they fill up the pockets of salaried city hires who are friends of city politicians, and they really don't serve the communities they claim to help. They make salaried people wealthier. And especially with LASA, the homeless services, 211, the things that are promised and the support that we're told we have for the unhoused community, when folks call these numbers and try to get in touch with people who can place them in shelter beds and use Inside Safe, they don't get the results that are promised. And there's a lot of reports being released on this, and we don't need more money for studies. We know what works. We can purchase homes, purchase hotels, fill vacancies with the people who need them. We could house every single homeless individual in Los Angeles, and it would, yes.
Caller, you've exhausted your 1 minute on this item. Please move on to another item.
You are such a piece of work, Grote. Fine. Let's go on to item, 8? Let's look at item 8. That's the emergency declaration for rains. So we have these emergency declarations, and what do? We help rich people who live on Mulholland. We should be, again, getting people off the street. That's the real emergency when it rains, is that people die of hypothermia. And people who live outside have all of their belongings destroyed and flooded by the rain. But these emergencies and the funding that is procured from declaring emergencies is used to fix mudslides in wealthy neighborhoods. Why do they live up there? They need to come down here and deal with all of the problems that all of our tax dollars are not helping fix anything, because they're all being sent up into the hills, up on Mulholland, up to Bel Air. And it's really a travesty. And Councilmember Rahman is really not saying or doing anything. She's supporting these inequitable motions. I appreciate what the last caller said about how y'all only ever stand up to stretch your legs. Part of your job is holding each other accountable.
Caller, your time has expired. Next caller.
Video guy, you can't. She's already married to the dude, the fist guy, the guy who holds his fist up. That's
Caller
her,
ending in
her husband.
4610. Please press star 6 to unmute.
I'm pretty sure they're
Hi,
married.
can you hear me?
Somebody
Yes,
told me
we
they
can hear
were.
you. Which items would you like to speak to?
He
Hey,
left.
it was good. All available. Oh, actually, can
That's
you
him.
tell me which one's available?
So
That's
you-
Stacy's
you guys opened
husband.
up one that wasn't before.
You have 3 minutes for the items. That's items 1
got back-to-back
3 as
calls
amended,
today.
and 8 through 26.
Okay. There's a lot of street lighting districts here.
Think so, Sky.
items all at once. I think it's interesting how a lot of these areas, their issues, it's not like everyone's neighborhoods go dark at the same time. A lot of people are waiting a long time to get their area, some decent lighting, so they're not scared to walk, home from work at night, or to walk to their car to, because they forgot something in it. But you guys, improve them all at the same time, which is really odd. I would think that the needs, popped up at different times, that maybe you could have taken care of some of these areas before.
You guys got a gray screen?
So, keep that in mind. Like, some people pay attention to that. Some people are just going to be grateful and kiss your toes for giving them something. But you need to know how you look. Other item, declaration of emergency. Y'all need to start declaring this kind of things, maybe the week before, not the week after or the day after. Everybody gets hit with a torrential downpour. People are staying outside. Some people, not even homeless, maybe got kicked out of their house because maybe, their parents caught them with, drugs or some shit, so they got kicked out and they got to stay outside and then it fucking rains, Not everybody's homeless out there. Some people are just having a rough time. But you don't really provide any services. Like, there's a lot of public buildings that we don't open for overnight stays when it's torrential downpours or during the day when it's like, it's already open. We don't open up inaccessible rooms. There's office rooms all across the city in these public buildings that are just closed off to the public that nobody's using, that they use to store like old paperwork and like chairs that nobody uses and like furniture they don't know what to do with. So maybe we should open up some of those spaces that we all know exist for people to stay when it's raining like fucking crazy. And it's not like we don't know when it's going to rain.
So,
Everybody
caller,
has the
you've
internet.
used your
We
1
all
minute
can
on
see.
this item. Please move on to another item.
Oh, it's ruthless.
All right, appointments to the public works. Y'all don't talk to the public about none of these people beforehand. We're just supposed to just take your word for it that this person's not corrupt, they're full of shit, and not going to drive our city into the ground. And yet you guys have had appointments that we're not really allowed to question or
I am
comment
smoking,
on
A-Time.
for the past like decades and decades and decade after decade. And yet our city is being run into the ground. So clearly, the judgment of the council cannot be trusted
So,
when choosing.
caller,
to
you're speaking
appoint.
to item number 7, which is not currently open for public comment.
Oh,
So
I'm
please
sorry.
move on to a
I'm
different
sorry
item.
about that. Yes, sir. Item number, you said 23 is available, right?
Yes, 23 is open.
Yeah, okay, that's a grant award. We should be taking as much money as we can from the federal government and applying it to enriching our city instead of giving it to our friends that don't want to get a real fucking job and clean up our streets or keep the world running. Instead, y'all want to get stupid little middle management, professional managerial class jobs. Because you're...
Caller, your time has expired.
They
Next caller.
dunked him.
Caller ending in 7255, please press star 6 to unmute.
Yes, 1, 4, 7. LA
Thanks,
Gun
Ethan.
Club,
So,
LA Valley Gun Club.
Item numbers
Thank you.
4 and 7 are not currently open for public
That's
comment.
the same guy.
Okay, number 8 then.
Okay, so you have
Maybe
2
it's
minutes
his
for the
brother?
items. It's item number 1 and item number 8. Please begin.
Number 1, we're starting with, and public comment, sorry.
Is that Richard Serrano?
Before you hang up on me. Number 1, Kevin De Leon is going to do the same thing Little Tokyo that Imelda Padilla and Monica Rodriguez with that light rail is going to do to the public in Pacoima, in Arleta. All those businesses will be shut down with no parking, but they don't care because they want to leave something behind, a legacy. They did something good, but not for the community that you're supposed to represent, only for your name. At the end, when those businesses are shut down, you're going to blame it on the COVID. Kevin De Leon knows that already, but he wants to leave something behind. It's election season. Let's see those banners go up to the same underneath them. Every time there's something going on, just follow the money. Somebody's getting kickback somewhere on down the line or getting a second job after they leave office. This is why I was running for office, because this stuff's not needs to stop. The public, I pointed out last week that this corruption needs to stop. You shouldn't be taking any parking away.
Speaker,
from
I can't
any
tell
of
which
these
item you're
residents
speaking
at the
to.
state.
So please identify
Number
the item.
one.
So
Number one.
You've already exhausted your 1
Number
minute on
one.
item number 1. So please move on to the other item.
Okay.
Hi, Tammy.
The emergency of the power of the flood. You guys only pay out 8% of the claim to the flat tire.
Caller, there's a lot of feedback, and it's
Getting his
incredibly
tire
difficult to hear
changed.
Okay, let me get you on speaker so you can hear me and don't hang up on me.
Either he's changing a tire or somebody's
Again,
changing
this is
his
Richard
tire.
Serrano. As Mr. Candido said, Mayor of the Valley, Mayor 6. Okay, that we're good with that. I'm good with that because I'm gonna make sure we get it right and put everything in the light.
Pulls at just tires
So,
right now.
Smoke and scan. See your thing, broadcast. Thank you for the love.
Caller, your time has expired. Next caller.
There's 3. Shout out to Richard Serrano.
Ending in
Shout out to Mr. He's at Mr.
press star
Tire.
6 to unmute.
Shout out to Mr. Tire, man.
Hello, it's Eric Previn.
Oh,
and I'd like to
Eric.
speak
Good
on the
morning.
available
Let's get it,
items
Eric.
As well as a general public comment. And I have just one question.
Good
Why is
morning.
the
So you
general
have
public
3 minutes for the
comment being
items.
segregated? Right,
Please
why is
begin.
it being segregated, but it wasn't the other day? Why are you segregating general public comment from the items?
So this is not on the agenda. So
Tell him,
your
Eric.
time is going for the items. Please stick to the agenda items that are open for public comment.
Okay. Item 3, thank you to Rodriguez. And by the way, the variable process is exactly the kind of thing that at LASA, where we've been desperately trying to hold accountability, but the City Attorney's Office of Los Angeles, first under Mike Fuhr, who has still not been indicted but lost badly the other night in his election, and then Heidi Feldstein Soto, who has been one of the greatest disappointments that the public has seen.
Speaker,
since
I
Mike
can't
Fuhr.
tell how
It's
this is connected to the agenda, so I need you to bring it back to the
LASA
agenda
item
item.
number 3. Yeah, you're interrupting. Item number 3, you're interrupting me. I'm talking about LASA and how things have not been reported to the council timely by the city attorney's office, which is your
Right,
office,
Snowflake?
which is why I suggest you remove your beak from the propeller.
That is not on item number 3, caller. So again, I need you to stick to the agenda
item.
item.
Number 3 is 4118. I will discuss 4118. I'm talking on the same subject matter that other people spoke about without interruption. So this is exactly the kind of double standard that the city attorney's office tries to have. Mr. Marquis Harris Dawson ought to resign. He is an absolute failure. He pretends to be a progressive, and yet he just has doubled down on the very same protocols that have got the city attorney's office, that's your office, again, back your shit up, sir, has fucked up. And you continually sit
So,
there and
Mr.
heckle
Previn,
public-
I've given you wide latitude on this item, but you've exhausted your 1 minute
Let's
on
talk
it. So
about the lighting
please,
district.
please
Let's
move
talk about
on
the
to
lighting
another
district.
item.
Gene, thank you so
Lighting
much,
district,
Gene.
Lighting district. And I want to tell you that by shining light on the malfeasance in our districts, in our neighborhoods, and in our city attorney's office, you can't block me from saying that, Gross. You can't do that, and you're absolutely out of line. So I'm asking you to understand a lighting district. It's where the neighborhood has to be assessed, but many people reject the assessment when they talk to some don't, and get assessed more money, and it covers the cost of lighting. We like that. I think Cigar Bollinger talked about that. But the light shining on the streets, in the alleys, on the malfeasance of the city attorney's office, who you every day suit up to block people who pay their taxes, who participate in their government, and take the time to come down there or call in, and you sit there and heckle them, and you think you're going to go far doing it. Let me be very clear. You're going nowhere quickly, okay? And Fauble, who fucked up the other day by accidentally discussing a closed session out in the open, check
So
my
again,
article.
this is not
working
on
for
the
Manat
agenda at
Phillips.
all. You've been warned already, so you have 10 seconds.
You've been warned. This is your only warning
All right.
and final
You're
warning.
forfeiting the rest of your
Ooh,
time.
lawyer
Caller?
fight, lawyer fight. Shout out to you, Gene Rojas.
Impressive. Star 6 to unmute.
Thank you, Gene.
Yes, this is Jason. I'm a smoker scan viewer.
There's 4, ladies and gentlemen.
Which items would you like to speak to? Good morning.
Good morning. Let me get all available items and general public comment there, Griff.
So we're not currently doing general public comment, but you have 3 minutes for the items. Please identify the items that you'd like to speak to before talking about them. Go ahead.
That's my buddy there, sir. So all available items. And quick question there. You don't by chance have the IG or OnlyFans for that attorney lady who subbed for you the other day, do you?
So this is not on the agenda item, so I need you to stick to the agenda items. This is your only warning.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I just forgot to ask her the other day there. Well, shit. You know what? I think I'm just gonna sit here and pull on the end of my cock until we get to general public comment.
All right, so
Yes, sir.
you're forfeiting the rest of your speaking time. You can stay on the line for general public comment. Next caller.
Just sit here and pull my cock till it's time for general comment.
Yeah, hi. All
Daniel
available
Gus.
items, and I'll stay on for general.
Okay, good
Daniel
morning. You have 3 minutes for the items.
DanielGus.substack.com. Item number 3. I am concerned that this was seconded by Miss Rahman. On DanielGus.substack.com, I have a story called LA's Next Corruption Scandal, in which I prove that Miss Rahman, who has seconded item number 3, has apparently received multiple DSA LA endorsements in exchange for her sacrificing some of her governing authority, and I believe that's a bribery scandal. And Ms. Rahman has not denied that she is making decisions like she is here, seconding item number 3.
Maybe, Moxie.
In exchange for DSA LA's endorsement. So I think somebody else should second item number 3 because it appears to be corrupt. It appears to be bribery in exchange for her seconding this motion. And since Ms. Rahman has not recused herself from it,
So, Mr. Gus, you've exhausted your 1 minute on this item. Please move on to another item.
Item number 24. Mr. Krikorian the other day misused his office for the endorsement of Adrian Nazarian, and I am concerned that his motion for item number 24...
Mr. Gus, this is not on the agenda item, so I need you to tie this to the agenda.
I am challenging the integrity of item number 4, which is proposed by Mr. Krikorian, and I'm explaining, Mr. Grote, that my concern about the integrity of item number 4 is because Mr. Krikorian has documented and acknowledged misuse of his office for campaign purposes, and so I object to item number 24. Stop interrupting me and let me express my objection in my own way, unless you'd like me to complain to the State Bar of California about you. So I object to item number 24 because Mr. Krikorian has this week been exposed as misusing his office for political purposes, and I believe that the same concern would apply to item number 24. Thank you very much, Mr. Grote, unless you want a State Bar complaint against you. Item number 25. Same reason. Hugo has apparently promised to sacrifice some of his governing authority in exchange for a DSA LA endorsement. So item number 25, I am concerned, unless Mr. Soto Martinez wants to say that this item is without the co-governing of the DSA LA, I think it should be taken off the agenda until he clarifies that. Also, Nithya must recuse herself on item 25 because her husband...
I love Daniel Gus.
Next caller.
Because he's a journalist, a legitimate journalist, and he puts these fools on blast, as they should be. And he really would go to the Bar Association and fucking file a complaint. I believe every word of that. Grote is a lawyer, city attorney.
I like to speak on all of the available items, and I like to just know which ones are available.
That's why Previn always goes at him. That's a lawyer fighting a lawyer. That's what they do every day in court. It's about defeating the other lawyer more than it is winning the case.
Please begin.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, City Council members. I want to speak about number 3. So we talked about the loss that was mentioned earlier about housing the homeless. I have a better plan that would benefit the homeless people, help them get off the streets. And that plan would be to fund housing by renting out apartments to homeless people for up to 1 year to help those homeless people get back on their feet, so that way they can have enough time to go to a job training program.
Good luck on that.
And draft their resumes, go to job interviews, get the job, and that would help them get back on their feet and off the street. And most of these nonprofit homeless charities are not doing that. All they're doing is just putting a Band-Aid on the problem and not getting to the root cause of the problem.
So, caller, you've exhausted your 1 minute on this item. Please move on to another item.
Okay.
Yeah, he's naive, John.
Let's talk about the street lighting items, which is item number 17 through 19. I would like to take into consideration we definitely need a lot of street lighting, but unfortunately, the number one problem that the city faces is the rise of copper theft, and that's been happening a lot in the city of Los Angeles and all over California. I can tell you one location that I do believe needs street lighting, and that intersection, that address is 10946 Ratner Street. Right across the street from there, there's a large homeless encampment of RVs parked there, and some of those people are breaking into the street lighting poles and tapping the copper to get electricity out of it. And that's another issue that your city needs to take into consideration, because this has been happening a lot, and unfortunately, some of the streets have gone dark. The alleys have gone dark, and this is starting to become a huge, huge problem. It's not just street lighting that is the issue. It's also electric charging stations where thieves are cutting the copper and stealing the cable wires to the charging stations. So I like your city to do more to help prevent copper theft on those street lightings when it comes to street lightings, because it's costing the city taxpayers millions of dollars, and these coppers are not cheap to replace at all. And that's about it, and I'll just speak in general public comment. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm going to pause
All
it
right,
really quickly.
that exhausts.
Because remember, okay, so that exhausts it. So they're going to go to a quick vote right here for one or two items. Then they're going to bring everybody you just saw back for their general public comment, which means they can talk about anything as long as it has to deal with the city in some shape, form, or fashion. So they're all coming back. And quick snowflake, yes, you must be new. Just to let you know, nobody, including the Asian man here, Mr. Grote, are listening, because he is not paying attention to what they're saying. He is more looking at the timer to make sure they get their 1 minute. That's it. Then that goes off. He's got to shift to the next person. It's more time management.
Our allotted time for public comment by telephone. Madam Clerk, having satisfied
Killer, I'm sorry to hear
comment
that.
on individual
Hit
items,
me
what
up.
items are
We shall
available for us to
talk.
vote on?
Mr.
I'm wishing you the
President,
best.
council may now
Hi,
vote on
Brock.
items 1
You
and
left
8
John
through
Holt again, Brock,
25,
because
sir.
they can't handle
All right,
your
is
fucking
this,
your power,
Mr.
bro.
Price, okay on these? I think 26 is one of the ones.
Trust me, don't think they don't
So I-
screen
Yes,
those
yes,
calls.
so,
they do it to
right now,
everybody.
council
That's a
is
sign
voting
that you've
on items
won.
1 and 8 through
Brock,
25.
you've leveled up.
25, got it. Okay, those items
That's
are
your
before
trophy.
us. Let's
Put on your
open the
case.
roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
All right,
12
there's one
ayes.
vote.
All right, what's
12
next?
ayes.
Would council like to vote on item 26?
I think she
Yes.
should go back to the mask.
Item 26, once Mr. Price is recused.
Ladies and
Open the
gentlemen, the
roll.
over-under is 11.
Close the roll.
11.
Tabulate the vote.
1-1, 11.
11
Over,
ayes.
under, 11.
All right, what's next?
My homeboy in the hoodie's right there, too. Shit, yeah.
Mr. President, what is next is item number 3, and that was amended by motion Blumenfield Rodriguez, sir.
All right,
Gray
we
screen
have
over?
comments by Mr. Blumenfield.
Yeah, I think
Thank you.
the
Mr.
internet's
President,
baloney
colleagues,
at the
I
moment.
offer this amendment to Ms. Rodriguez's motion
Should have
because
cleared
I've
back
been
up
asking
by
for
now.
performance evaluation of the lead agency of homelessness that we have in this, that we've delegated homelessness to in this city. As Ms. Rodriguez has been saying, she wants us to get off that merry-go-round from hell. She said it.
That's it,
and
Alex.
I
One
agree
more than
100%.
10.
I have known LASA, and we have all known that LASA can be opaque at times and frankly downright deceptive in terms of how they secure funding from this city. The most recent example is they hired a data architect with funding from the city to reconcile HMIS data and county data, and they used the money that we gave them to reconcile HMIS data with the county. And we still can't get data from LASA. And I'm dismayed by how LASA manages data. Look at the fiasco with this 4118 where staff leaked incomplete
Fiasco?
data to make a political point.
You guys are a fiasco.
We need the
Look at
housing
city.
department to step up. If the housing department can't be the lead agency in the city to manage and monitor LASA's contract, we also need to get our administrative house in order. And we need to get our budget in order. And there are some major cliffs that we're going to have that we need to tighten our belts, and we need to set a plan that is inclusive of this council. Our constrained budget makes this not only a desirable outcome, but it is a necessity. So I ask that we support this amendment to Ms. Rodriguez's report. This is all about getting the information that we need, that we've repeatedly asked for, and we still have not gotten.
Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Blumenfield, because yes, I too have been committed to getting us off this merry-go-round from hell. And to borrow from one of your phrases, unfortunately, so many of the reports are clear as mud. So I think, you know, this is a really an important step that we must unfortunately continue to take. But I also want to remind everybody, because I think what's critically important, while everyone is, and I'm glad you brought up how insufficient the report was on 4118 that seeks to make a very grand statement, very short on details and actual facts and data to back it up. But it's particularly important because as everyone continues to try and galvanize towards advancing, additional resources from taxpayers for all of these other grandiose initiatives, they fall far short of actually producing the results that residents are demanding. It's unfortunate that in the city of Los Angeles, we continue to have taxpayers continue to say yes and assess themselves in support of resolving this very critical crisis that we're seeing on our streets, and yet we are getting far shortchanged in the actual resources that help us address this here in the city of Los Angeles, while we continue to step up on this issue each and every time. It should be without question that we get the data, the metrics, the outcomes associated with the amount of money that's been invested in this effort, and it's unfortunate that we have to continue to demand this in a legislative fashion, because just as anybody, any taxpayer would expect, you would expect that you can show some results and outcomes associated with work. It should be very clear and transparent, but unfortunately we must continue to pursue it through legislative means and seeking all of the different interventions, from whether it's the CLA's office or looking at all of the tools that we have to actually
you guys are a bunch of tools, that's for
and
sure.
determine how these dollars are being invested. We can't get clear answers, and it's unfortunate, but I know they're all gearing up to ask us for more money, and until they produce results that actually show measurable outcomes associated with the work that's being invested, the taxpayers deserve better, and I'm proud to be aligned with you to demand that level of transparency in this process. And colleagues, I ask for your aye vote.
All right, seeing no other speakers, this item is now Mr. De Leon.
De Leon.
Thank you very much, Mr.
thank you very
President.
much.
I must
Thank you very much.
admit that... Was there a leak in here, Mr. President? A flat tire? Right over
Whoever's
there.
hissing in the audience, that's your first and last warning.
No, that was a fart. Somebody farted.
I must
Sorry,
admit,
that was me.
Mr. President, as well as colleagues, I'm a bit surprised that this motion is being presented because there's a separation
Is there
of
a
church
flat
and state,
tire
there's a
in
separation
here?
of branches of government between the executive and the legislative, and we all collectively pertain to the legislative branch, regardless of where folks may be on any given issue, because there is a diversity of opinion on a whole variety of issues. But basic information that's requested should always be presented, and that's the way it works. Quite naturally, every branch of government, whether the federal, state, or local level, there's always a natural sense of tension between the two branches, executive and the legislative. That's actually quite natural, even among those who pertain to the same political party, who may espouse the same values, the same principles, and who by far and large agree on the same outcomes, but maybe disagree on tactically how you get there. That's all natural. But it is quite extraordinary that a motion has to be presented and actually voted on to request information if folks, whether it be staff members or others who are hiding the ball, giving incomplete information, redacting information that is necessary for the council to make well-informed decisions. Again, this is not necessarily something new per se at any level of government, but it is quite extraordinary that by far and large we collectively, believe in the same thing. We just sometimes believe we approach it just differently
Fucking
tactically.
Mifford.
So
Mifford,
again,
that's
looking at
funny.
this, I wasn't aware that this measure was up, but hearing the impassioned declarations from Ms. Rodriguez and Mr. Blumenfield that
I had a girl.
however folks may, again, stand on issues, this should be unanimous and simple forward vote, making sure that we're all part of the legislative
That's it, Moto.
branch
They like to hear
and
themselves
request
speak.
information. That information should be forthcoming.
Thank you. Other speakers on this item? Seeing none, this item is before us. Let's open the roll.
Close the
Close
roll.
the roll.
Tabulate
the
the
vote.
12 eyes.
Of course.
All right. Now I believe we can hear item number 27.
I just want to know who was hissing.
Yes, sir. Shall I read the settlement?
Yes.
The
Item
settlement.
27, in the case entitled Catholic Charities of Los Angeles versus City of Los Angeles, there is a recommendation to authorize the city attorney to execute the settlement agreement and authorize the Department of Building and Safety to begin normal ministerial processing of the demolition permit or inform the petitioner of the requirements to process the demolition permit and to require city planning to issue any clearances preventing issuance of the permit.
Where's her mask? I don't know.
All right, that item is before us. Let's open the roll.
She
Close
sold
the
it for
roll,
$5.
Tabulate the vote.
She go buy something she needed.
12 eyes.
All right, what's next?
Next would be general public comment, sir.
All right. We'll now open up for general public comment. Your name is called.
Looks like he
you'll
smoked a
approach
joint
the
out back. Look at his
podium in
eyes
any
right now.
order, and you'll have 1 minute to speak.
Especially that right eye.
On general
Shit looks
public
glassy,
comment items.
dog. Well, his
Andrew
left,
Gravener,
our right.
Stacy Segarra Bollinger.
11.
Chris
Over
Carlin,
or under? 11.
Candido, Michael Pitkin, Richardson, Barry.
Good morning. You have 1 minute.
All right, so we have general comment. So Kevin, you now have 26% of the vote in the runoff. So much of the city does not support you. So much of your district does not support you. You're gonna lose badly in an embarrassing way in the runoff. You have no chance. You should just drop out now. Just save your time, save your energy, just resign and just, go figure out if you're gonna redeem yourself or anything, and, just get out of this council. Just resign. Now we have Paul Krikorian, who's taking a vacation on taxpayer dollars in Paris right now, in France. Who's now using his campaign, his council office emails to endorse candidates for public office.
Oh, only 6, so the under wins. Yeah, he did get an awful lot of snorting. I mean, you snort a lot when you can't breathe because you're wearing a diaper on your face.
Good morning. You have
It's
1
just
minute.
normal.
Thank you very much, Council. I'd like to give something to Mr. Blumenfield. He needs to know about something about Simi Park right here. It has a whole bunch of information on a sex offender that she supported when she was at Dunn. Her belief is all former incarcerated people are wanted. This guy was a police officer, and her attitude when she was a director before she got demoted was to support sex offenders. I have the docket, the Court of Appeals decision, the Met News, and everything. You should probably ask her why she appreciates formerly incarcerated individuals that were convicted sex offender. This person's even on the...
I'm sorry, can you pause this time? Camille
This
Lewis?
person in the
Camille
red,
Lewis.
this is at least their first warning, maybe your second. You'll be
BLM
excused
lady.
from the meeting.
Oh, boy.
First warning.
Sorry, go ahead and begin.
So I would like Mr. Blumenfield to ask this loser, Simi Park, that used to be a director, now is a deputy. And obviously you're going to be a victim like with other people, like she's done. So I have all the paperwork and everything. I'd like to give it to Mr. Blumenfield. You can see what type of cunt you are, Simi.
Shout out to all you face diaper wearers.
Mommy, wow! I'm a big kid now.
Good morning. You have 1 minute.
All right, so I could talk about anything, right? It doesn't have to be one of the topics
Yes,
of today.
this is general public comment. So
Okay. All right. So the country is too spread out. Prior to 1776, the Great Britain wanted us to not have towns and cities in certain areas because it's going to cost us too much money, or time really, but time is money. So it's in the alphabet. The letter C is the top of an S. The letter J, the capital J, is the second half of a G. and so those are the same letters, G, J, S, C. Okay, so the reason they're in the alphabet is because Great Britain wanted us to, we put those letters in the names of the cities so that Americans knew that Great Britain disagreed that we should have those cities. Okay, so if you imagine a world that's like 1,000,000 times bigger, right? Like I can't live 1,000,000 miles away from the next person because we're not going to be able to function like that. Okay, so so there is such a thing as too far apart. Okay, is that my timer?
That is your timer.
It's over?
That's it.
Okay.
Was you expecting a stripper to come out and dance for you? Yep, that's your time, Billy. You get a full minute. Don't you feel satisfied?
Good morning. You have 1 minute.
Michael Joseph Pitkin. I talked of the rumors on my mother's side, now on my father's side. I traced my family tree 1,500 years all through Europe and America's histories. There was a Pitkin in George Washington's cabinet. There is Pitkin, Mississippi, Pitkin County, Colorado, including Vail and Aspen, Pitkin Avenue in New York. My brother kept Long Beach from sinkholes as an engineer at Thumbs, a conglomerate of Texaco, Humble, Union, Mobile, and Shell. I am a descendant of Marie Antoinette. Is this a tale of two cities? My grandmother is a Kaiser. Again, BIPOC community gossip is, I am a paperclip Nazi, which now daily I am being gang-stalked, harassed, hacked, abused, and violated for being white privileged. Fruit of the poisonous tree.
Next speaker.
That's why we need mental institutions, ladies and gentlemen. This is my girl right
morning.
here.
You
I
have 1
called
minute.
her. She's mine.
Pardon me?
You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Black men need jobs. They can't get jobs because they're too angry and too hungry. About 5 years ago, Chief Moore and someone from City Council got black people jobs in the downtown area. 2 ladies reported having kept their job for 1 year. The others kept their jobs between 2 and 3 months. White people are homeless too, but they don't live on the street. I believe they live in places where they can get jobs if they want them. This is not so much of a homeless industry, but it's an industry that should be helping people to get jobs. Get jobs if they want them. It's more of an industry to help people get jobs rather than to help the homeless. We need jobs more.
Those two could be poster children for the
Thank
for
you,
the
Mr.
mental
President.
institutions.
I am honored,
The great
to
panderer.
be here with these vets as someone whose family has served from the Revolutionary War to current wars.
Oh, they're gonna get a whole bunch of OPG folders.
Being here. And I want to thank the Councilman John Lee for bringing you here. Mr. Lee, you have a mandate now. You were voted by a majority of your people. Now it's your duty to make sure these people, these individuals are always honored before the City Council, and you must take care of Reseda Boulevard, sir. From Rinaldi to Cessna, we have to take care of it. It's become a crime situation, and you have a mandate now. To the woman from the 6th District, I want to thank you for your staff. You have a lot of young people who are just amazing. There's still one bad apple, and sometimes that one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. So, but again, you need a mandate. You have it, Mr. Lee. We thank you for that. Thank you, folks.
I gotta go feed Stinks, guys. Shit, I'm gonna miss one.
General Dogan, Adam Smith, Dylan Littlefield, Rob Kwan, Shayan Riazati, Stephen Luffman, Goat Puppet, Richie Shave.
Do you guys mind if I just pause it for literally 30 seconds? I'll literally run in there and feed him because I don't want to miss the action. Well, actually, it doesn't matter.
1 minute.
I'll let this one go. I'm gonna go. I'll be right back.
So
I'll be
you
right
guys providing free services to tenant. Nothing being provided to landlord. You guys advertising everything to tenant and they are taking advantage. The things you guys provided, this is the mayor's office. They provided in the list. They are not taking landlord's cases. You guys are providing wrong information to landlord. All of this information, the public council, the legal aid foundation, all of these, they are not working for landlord. So you guys put the regulation that the tenant can ask from 9,500 up to 24,650 from the landlord, which is not right. They can send less rent up to 25,045 till we can start the process. So where is our right?
Next
Are
speaker.
you guys okay to rent
Speaker,
your
your
place
time has
to
expired,
somebody?
and you've already been warned to not disrupt this meeting.
This is
so
your
you
second
need to
warning. We're going to
vacate
ask
the
you to
podium.
leave the chamber, sir. This is your second warning. You're talking out of turn. You talked out of turn when you came for specific public comment, and you're talking out of turn now. You're causing a situation where 3 officers have to escort you away from the podium. It's completely unacceptable. And you continue to disrupt the meeting.
So this is for everyone. Again, in order to hear as many people speak as possible, we need people to vacate the podium in a timely manner. So, good morning. You have 1 minute.
Hopefully that we can bring some consequence when someone commit a crime.
Did I miss anything crazy?
Right now, feels like people are having some sort of entitled rights. Just go to a store looting, just go to a store rioting, just standing on the side street of the Figueroa and then soliciting sex services to anyone drive by, to anyone walk by. And it seems like those kind of everyday crime, rob someone, follow home robbery, or rob someone in the parking lot, you know, get her wallet or whatever, those kind of stuff seems like become the new normal. And then I really hope in the future that the city council can have some sort of policy that make those criminals feel scared, make those criminals feel that they will be charged, they will be caught, and then they will be sent to prison and jail instead of talking about all day long protests and commit a crime over and over again. Victims' lives matter.
Speaker,
That's right.
Next speaker.
That is correct.
See, even fucking Darth agrees. Fucking Darth agrees.
Good morning. You have 1 minute.
Good morning, Rob
Bro,
Kwan.
you know how much I love you, at least more than Tania, but you let Bob Blumenfield and Monica Rodriguez speak about 4118 and the report, which you didn't let the public speak about. But you didn't interrupt them. It sounds like you're admitting a Brown Act violation. So just let's keep some mindfulness of the contradictory legal advice that we're getting here. I want to begin by saying Council President Krikorian needs to repent for his sins or resign. The misuse of political activity from the strongest position in this goddamn city is so fucking inappropriate. I don't know what you're doing here. Please, those at home, call Council President Krikorian's office at 213-473-7002 and demand he either repent or resign. Call the Ethics Commission at 213-978-1960 and ask them to open an immediate investigation. This is wholly inappropriate. Y'all better do something,
Speaker,
or else
your
this
time
is going
has
to
expired.
continue and it's going to hang over all of you.
Speaker, your time has expired.
Shout out to Rob
Next
Kwan.
Good morning again. Stephen Luffman. I would like to ask that in the future, when this body votes to allow the demolition of an important historic resource of our city, that this agreement, that this legal agreement, I'm talking about item number 27, Los Angeles versus Catholic Charities, that when we allow the demolition of an important cultural heritage site, such as the B'nai B'rith building, that this agreement is made public before you vote on it. This very important building is important to the Jewish community of Los Angeles, important to the African American community, and important to the history of unionization of a seriously anti-union town that changed this city. You should be made public before you vote on it. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope when I grow up, I have hair like that. I don't know if I'm ever growing up.
Richard Shave here, private citizen. I guess this is general public comment because item 27 has passed.
Shout out to the cowboy.
So credit where credit is due. President Pro Tem Marquise Harris-Dawson, I want to thank you for having the clerk read an executive summary of this sealed settlement. I thank you. We have struggled with Deputy City Attorney Lucy Atwood to get a copy of this, so I really appreciate it. I am hoping all your chiefs of staff read the Los Angeles Times article about the significance and importance of B'nai B'rith, which was just published, and perhaps next week you can come back and reconsider and tweak this agreement. We have only begun to work on this problem of this city now allowing the demolition of this important cultural monument. And again, President Marquise Harris-Dawson, thank you for having that executive summary read. The judge in court on Tuesday would not allow it. So thank you so much for giving us more tools to help save this building, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, no Mr. Sachs today. No Mr. Herman. No Mr. Harlan. We're missing a lot of them.
Good morning.
No
Little
Mike
folks, no public
Greenspan.
comment.
No Sean from Canoga Park.
It is frustrating and sad.
No Johnny
that
G.
If the B'nai B'rith building at 9th and Union were in an affluent neighborhood, I am absolutely certain that this plea agreement to demolish this building with no community buy-in would have been, or the settlement agreement would have been, an absolute 100% public issue. The issue would have been hashed out, it would have been talked about, we would have had public comment. But because it's in a poorer neighborhood, it was swept under the rug. This building is a vital, vital piece of our history, and it could become, through adaptive reuse, through an amazing process that's been well repeated in this city, it could be used to be a community foundation, a community hub. Instead, it'll be a pile of rubble that doesn't represent the history or the neighborhood. Thank you.
Johnny G, and the item is general public comment.
That's right.
Good morning. You have 1 minute.
Yes, and as we know, let's give an election update. So Kevin's going to be facing, I think, Isabel Gerardo, because as me and Unisys know, she's only 148 votes away from the primary against Kevin. Let's give her a hand. Well, it's fucking incredible. Absolutely. That's right. And see, Kevin didn't invite me to that party. I didn't get any prostitutes and free liquor, so I'm not going to discuss anything with you, traitor. And then we have Miss Burgess, progressive, 1 vote ahead against Sam and CD2, another progressive that might face a runoff against Nazarian. No on Nazarian. He's a piece of shit. And then we have Ethan Weaver, 2,100 votes behind. We're still going to get you, Nithya, to run off, though. I'm going to wear this goddamn hat every day. And finally, fuck your mothers, as I promised.
All right, that concludes in-person public comment. Now we'll go to the phones.
Just as I promised, go fuck your mothers.
All right.
Caller ending
Love
in
it.
4610. Please press star
Fucking
6
love
to
it. I don't like it.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, you have 1 minute.
All right, cool. So everybody's, asking for the report back. Don't get too excited. I don't know what y'all expect. Across the country, city councils are rejecting ballot initiatives that are voted overwhelmingly in favor for. They don't want to put them on the ballots anyway. Our city, a lot of the same thing. They don't listen to us. Stop trying to, be so polite. We really need to start making real noise. We need to organize a sit-in at city council. We need to occupy the city council chambers. Precorian, you suck. And capitalist war pigs. That's what you guys are.
Shelley.
All you do is divide. Shallow smoke and scan. Generals gathered in their masses. That's you guys. Capitalist war pigs.
There it is. You got a song out of each one of them today.
Next caller?
Well, no, Stacy didn't sing
Caller
today.
ending in
Hopefully she does.
7255. Please press star 6 to unmute.
That was Shelley impression. That's it. They're watching. They're listening, Shelley.
Belly.
That's Fisk guy, Shelley.
DC, contact me. This is Richard Serrano.
Was
you
that?
guys are speaking about a nonprofit. I thought you guys were speaking about the LA City Council chamber with all the corruption and deception. I'm not sure what Rodriguez was talking about because it's the same thing in that office. I guess it all depends on who tells the story. It's not what politicians say; it's how they say it.
What are you doing?
And again, now you got the numbers 4118. Oh my gosh, why did it take that long? Pepsi challenge wasn't going to come out favorable, so that's why it was delayed. And here you are now. All of a sudden, let's make a point. No, you knew the point because you saw the service. You saw it in the service. The people are still on the street. You lied to the people. There are not 31,000 people off the street after 1 year of service from Mayor Bass. I just want transparency. She's a good
Caller,
lady.
your time has expired.
There's
Next
not even
caller.
3,100. Fuck 31,000.
Caller ending in 2616, please press star 6 to unmute.
Yes, it's Eric Previn. I'd like to speak on general public comment.
Good morning. You have 1 minute.
Starting now. Okay. Well, first of all, I want to make it clear that I've contacted the city attorney's office and the ITA, that's in the technology group, because we absolutely have to provide transparency about how Mr. Harris-Dawson or Mr. Krikorian or the clerk or the CLA or who is choosing people in the queue. Because, as you know, several times this week, people were waiting in line, and Mr. Harris-Dawson has now started identifying the number of people in the queue that he will accept. But then he lies. So because it's a real problem. And that's why transparency is the only way. Nobody's accusing you of having intentions to screw people, but of course you are. But if there's a mistake or if some of the staff don't understand or if they're trained to see that my number, 2616, is to be called at the very bitter end, and if the chair cancels before then, excellent. And I'm not alone. So it's very important, Mr. Grove, because you've done a terrible job.
Caller, your time has expired. Next caller.
Baby.
Caller ending in 5404, please press star 6 to unmute.
General public comment, please.
You have 1 minute.
I'm a big fan of watch what people do, not what they say. Because Mr. Krikorian has talked a lot about reforming this city, but what he's done is sent an email using the city seal, the city logo, using staff resources to endorse and express the confidence in his victory for Adrien Nazarian. This is a blatant ethics violation, but we need to look at it in the bigger picture. For all his chat about how we're reforming the city, we haven't actually done a significant ethics reform that's actually been completed since 2019. Charter ethics reform, that got introduced right after the Fed tape. But has it been agendized? Nope. What did he do to the MLO, which was supported by 46 neighborhood councils? He sought to make vast exemptions to exempt certain kinds of lobbyists from being considered lobbyists, which is not something that exists anywhere in the country. And we see this over.
Caller, your time has expired. Next caller.
Yover and Yover and Yover
Caller ending in
again.
9519, please press star 6 to unmute.
I just think they sounded like Mrs.
Yes,
O.
this is Jason, and I'm a smoking scan viewer.
So you have 1 minute for general public
That's either
comment.
5 or 6.
That's mighty white of you, sir. I want to say what's up to my smoking scan community there, including the ones on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it now. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the family there. It's good to have y'all around there. Of course, you see we had some good faces this week, and the weekend's going to be good. It's going to be a good show, and we're going to do some good things down the elbow bar room. And also, I guess on YouTube, I guess my boy, you got his little monetization back, or he's able to accept super chat. Put some money on my boys book there. So, he's going down to the Figueroa, the ladies, it costs a little bit. They ain't cheap there. I know my man don't like he don't e-bag or beg or anything, but I'm just saying put some money on my man book there. And either way, come in and enjoy the show. Y'all have a good weekend now. Smoking can out.
Thank you, Jason. Jason always getting in.
Caller ending in 0463, please press
See
star
if
6
Shelly
to
or
unmute.
Brock gets in there this time.
Yes, this is Shelly Babes, the one and only. Smoke and scan, Damon, you're the man.
7.
Yeah, always and forever. Hey, I'd like to do a little tribute to the white people. Hey, baby, if you're feeling down, I know what's good for you all day. Are you worried what your friends see? And will it ruin your reputation loving me? 'Cause I'm a dirty white boy. Dirty white boy. Dirty white boy.
I love it.
Don't drive no big black car.
Whoa.
Don't like no Hollywood movie star. You want me to be true to ya. Don't give a damn what I do to ya. Yeah, I'm a dirty white boy. Dirty white boy. Been in trouble since I don't know when. I'm in trouble now.
Shout out to Shelly.
Caller ending in 8130. Please press *6 to unmute.
Oh, man, they hate it.
Landers, Los Angeles private investigator. What's up, nerds and virgins? Did you tell those vets how you gave the 100-year-old lieutenant colonel the cheap certificate and not the framed one? Smoke and Scan is retiring 50 guns. Moving forward, he's now known as the Great Panderer. We give it, we take it away. I don't understand how people come on here and they drop multiple N-bombs without a warning, and then you announce that it's protected by the First Amendment and you can't do anything about it. I talk about accidentally masturbating with a cheese grater one time and you yell at me. It seems like this shows how the council truly feels about black people. Monica, I saw you looking on Instagram for it. It's not available yet, but I am happy to report the casting of the Monica Rodriguez gag ball is complete. They said they're putting a whistle in the middle of it so it will roll its R's half of the time. Miss Kathy, 420, let's stop at 69 before we get to 420. Miss O in Ohio, see you next month to stretch out that O face. I missed the first of the call. Who's the Make-A-Wish kid next to the caller chick?
Caller, your time has expired. Next caller.
Bro, he killed her with the gag ball with the whistle.
Caller ending
It
in
rolls its R's.
9809. Please press *6 to unmute.
Yeah, Daniel Gus.substack.com.
Good morning. You have 1 minute.
Grote, please check your email, Mr. Grote. I sent you, your boss, and Mr. Previn an email. I am putting you on notice. You have to let people make their own points on agenda items in their own way. You are well educated and you know exactly what you're doing to undermine public criticism and to help chew off a few seconds. If you do this again to me, I am letting you know that I am going to use the recordings of the meeting and file a state bar complaint against you. At most, you'll get a warning letter, but I am being very clear. Let people, especially me, because I know exactly, or you can explain to the State Bar of California why you keep censoring the public from criticism.
Mr. Gus, your time has expired. Before we move on to the next caller, just to clarify for everybody who's calling in or would like to speak at this meeting, we need to connect the items that you're speaking to and what you are saying to the items in a timely manner. If we cannot tell, as discussed in the rules, then we will ask you to get back on the agenda. Next caller.
Caller ending in 5686. Please press *6 to unmute.
Love Brock.
A law enforcement type of guy.
Hi, I'd like to speak on general.
Shout out to Daniel.
So you have one.
Yes. Hi, council members. I just wanted to bring it to your attention at the USPS post office, right across the street from it, located at 10946 Ratner Street. That particular street is infested with a huge amount of RVs parked there, and there's homeless people begging mail post office customers for money, harassing them, bothering them, and acting in an aggressive manner. I also wanted to bring it to your attention, right across the street from 8031 Foothill Boulevard, there's a homeless encampment blocking the sidewalk, and nothing is being done about that. And I'd like to see more be done to house the homeless and get them in apartments that way, so that they don't have to live on the streets. And I'd like to see more be done about this, because this is out of control. And as city taxpayers, we can't let this continue going on.
I say you be the change, my friend. Don't talk about it, be it. And you start taking them in right now. Go right outside. I guarantee you there's one around your block. Bring them on in. Be the change.
Hi, this is Ruth. I wanted to talk about some report backs that haven't come in, I guess. CF 08-0644, the residential hotel ordinance. On August 1st, we were supposed to get a report back in 60 days. 191020, Lived Experience Expertise Board. It's endorsed by LASA. I don't know what's going on with that. There's just no action on it, and it's going to die this year. We need to be able to raise grievances. 22-0928, location-based interventions. We're supposed to get reports on those every 6 months or something. And then 23-1194, inside safe operation reports. We still haven't gotten those. I think there's another one in 2013-76 regarding the LA Alliance case about monitoring LASA contracts. And why have the city administrative officer's homeless strategy meetings been canceled for a year?
Caller, your time has expired. Next caller.
Sweet boy.
Caller ending in 1871, please press *6 to unmute.
I did that. Can you hear me?
Yes, you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, great. Council members Lee, Rodriguez, Padilla, Blumenfeld, Rahman, Kevorkian, and Paris. You all represent the San Fernando Valley. And LA City Council needs to figure out how to allow call-in speakers for committee meetings, which are currently satisfying public hearing rules under the Brown Act. People in the valley have to travel 20 to 30 miles, spend an hour each way, gas money, public transit money, just to travel to downtown LA to make a 1-minute comment. Figure out how to allow call-in comments to LA City Council committee meetings, and figure out how to live stream and record LA City Council committee meetings. San Fernando Valley voices do matter. Thank you.
But if they cared, they would.
Next caller.
But they don't, so they won't.
Caller ending in 5869, please press *6 to unmute.
Hello, City Council. Hello, Damon, Smoke and Scan. Shout out to you guys. This is Laguna 7-4. I would love to have the council declare April 20th as Los Angeles Smoke and Scan Day. I would enthusiastically partake in the festivities. I'd also like to see the council listen to constituents, both in person and on the phone. You work for these people. You may actually learn something. Shout out to Mr. Spindler and Goat Puppet. I hope Goat Puppet gets elected to the city council someday. And one more shout out to Brock Landers. Brock, I feel your pain. The cheese grater thing is pretty painful, but we're hanging in there with you, buddy. Thank you. Remember to tip your bartenders and waitresses, and see you next time.
Shout out to Laguna. Laguna 64, thank you so much.
User 2, please press *6 to unmute.
That's 9. Oof, taking over. Oh, that's Spindler, right? Calls in, and he gets it every time with that shit.
Caller, this is your last opportunity to speak. Please press *6 to unmute. Next caller.
That concludes virtual public comment.
Aw.
All right, that concludes public comment for this meeting. Madam Clerk, what's next?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
They are posted and referred.
The desk is clear, sir.
All right, members, any announcements? Announcements, members? Mr. Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Council President. First of all, I'd just like to say to all my colleagues here, all the women in the city of Los Angeles, all the women on my staff, and all the special friends that I have out there in my private life, happy International Women's Day. Damn Skippy. That's right.
Damn Skippy.
I want to say for all my male colleagues out there, we got to play our role.
Notice how they're all at the chairs now, right? You noticed that, right?
Encouraging and pushing all the amazing women that make
when
us
everybody was talking,
who we are.
They were gone.
I want to acknowledge them today and hope you celebrate
now they're all
this day
back.
with as much
Magically.
passion that you bring into this council. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Soto Martinez. Other announcements? Ms. Rodriguez.
Thank you. I too want to thank you, Mr. Soto Martinez. For those of us in these positions, There was a time, well, actually, when I got elected in 2017, I used to say that I doubled the number of women on the LA City Council. And now
Why?
we
Because
have
you're twice as big?
nearly, well, that was true, because then there were 2 of us.
Yeah, I'm going to hell.
But to have 7 of us here now is really important. But I want to thank you, Mr. Soto Martinez, because for those of us as women in leadership roles, we are no strangers to being mansplained. We are no strangers to being the least paid, to have our ideas taken, to be interjected and have individuals speak over us. And so today's the day that we get to do that back a little bit and continue to be in our strength, working together to help advance and represent the supermajority of the population in this in the world, frankly. So, ladies, happy International Women's Day to all the women out there. For those of you here with us today, and thank you so much for being the women that show up in strength every day. May we know them, may we be them, may we raise them. Happy International Women's Day.
Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
Other announcements? All right, seeing none, I'll ask everyone in the chamber to rise for adjourning motions, and we will begin with Mr. De Leon.
So when are they giving the upkeep folders to the war vets?
Colleagues, as we conclude today's City Council meeting, I rise with a very heavy heart to honor the memory of a friend and a true pillar of our community. That's no other than Raymond Cordova. Ray Cordova, affectionately known as the Godfather of Los Angeles and Orange County labor politics, has left, without a doubt, an indelible mark on our city and beyond. His decades of tireless activism, advocacy, and mentorship have shaped the landscape of democratic labor politics, earning him the respect and admiration of all who knew him. Ray's dedication to his family, his country, and his union brothers and sisters was unwavering. As a Vietnam War veteran, he served his country with valor and distinction, rising to the rank of sergeant.
The hell? Just come on, Stinks. Come on, man. What did you just do?
Head of CWA, the Communication Workers of America, Local 95 and 71, and played such a pivotal role as a delegate to both the LA as well as Orange County Labor Councils, as well as a chair of the South Bay Labor Council.
Turned it to the
a
helicopter
handful
there.
of us around this horseshoe know him very well, especially every Labor Day event down in the 1-5, where we would always see him, just a wonderful, kind, gentle soul. Always looked kiddingly, would always joke with him and say, Ray, you look like one of
his ass is on the stream deck right there.
Goodfellas, every imaginable movie dealing with a Godfather or Goodfellas and so forth. Ray always looked like he was cast from Hollywood. Beyond his labor activism, Ray's commitment to public service.
You already ate, sick puppy, half hour ago.
He lent his expertise as a senior staff member to both federal as well as state government offices, including serving as assistant to another good friend, the former state controller of the state of California, John Chung. Throughout his career, Ray remained steadfast in his advocacy for the core democratic values, inspiring countless others to follow in his footsteps.
He already broke it,
as we bid for
laying on it just like that, broke the fan.
We extend our deepest condolences to his family, especially to his wife.
I know why he likes this, because it's warm.
A half a century, 56 years to be exact.
It's like a heating pad. He's laying on a heating pad.
May they find solace in knowing that Ray's legacy will endure and his impact will continue to be felt for generations to come. My brother Ray, may you rest in peace as well as power. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank
he
you
looks
so much,
like the
Mr.
Godfather
De
in
Leon,
that tux he was wearing there.
I just wanted to add thank you so much, Mr. De Leon, because He is someone of great note for all of his remarkable service and his work in the labor movement.
They
I
can't
think he
let
captured
Paul
it very
win.
beautifully.
Paul lose though,
It's,
Salty.
it was really
that
wonderful
whole
to see how
show
many
with
people were
him
visiting him. I
is
saw
all about
some
him
images
winning,
on social media
beating
when
everybody
he
that
was,
he's fighting.
Hospitalized.
Which,
And
of course, are all older folks
You know,
and-
ever that character of strength.
You know, it's like a traveling
that
circus.
exuded even from those images. It was quite.
I wouldn't be
powerful.
surprised if
And,
Mike Tyson loses
I'd like
that
to
fight,
ask,
although
I
he
think
should
it's
win.
appropriate that this is an all-council adjournment, given that he has represented so much, and we have all been, so many of us have all been beneficiaries of his leadership. And I
Trust
think
me, if
that
he was 4-16,
leading-
nobody would give a fuck who he's fighting.
Ms. Hutt?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Councilmember De Leon. For me, Ray Cordova was like a godfather as well. And I was able to not visit Monica, but I was able to FaceTime with him. And he would FaceTime from his bed. A couple of things that he would always let me know to stay true, stay strong. And he's really going to be missed, especially in this cycle. So I would like to be certainly added. We're doing a resolution from my office as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So all members on that, thank you so much, Mr. De Leon. Mr. Lee.
All right, colleagues, I'm honored today to have a group of friends of mine here today. These people standing behind me and to the left and all throughout council chambers are members of an organization called Wings Over Wendy's. Wings Over Wendy's is an organization made up of men and women who have fought in every war from present day all the way to World War II. We're here to honor a World War II veteran, but I want to recognize aviation machinist Weber, who served in World War II in the Pacific. Thank you, sir. These men and women are living history that we partner with them to have them go into schools and talk to school children about firsthand the different battles that they were involved in, the same ones that the students are reading about. So when I say they're living history, they actually get to share some of those stories with our children, and I want to thank them for doing that. And sadly today you see so many of them here today because we lost one of our beloved members who served in World War II. His name was Bonifacio Leone, but we all know him as Barney. One of our beloved veterans. I'm joined obviously by the members of Wings Over Wendy's because he was a special person. Barney was born on September 25th, 1924 in the Bronx. He was a kind spirit who had a larger-than-life quality about him. Everyone who had the luck of crossing paths and knowing Barney knew that he was one of a kind. Barney was a World War II veteran who served in the Pacific on the USS Nemasket, a fuel ship anchored 150 yards offshore at Iwo Jima. At the time, he was just 23 years old. As the Marines prepared to hit the beach, Barney's story famously has him giving the group the thumbs up to say, "The moment has arrived." As the Marines went ashore, Barney knew likely he wouldn't see many of them return. The Battle of Iwo Jima took the lives of nearly 7,000 Marines, and while ultimately victorious, it was one of the most ferocious and deadly conflicts the United States faced in the Pacific. It was an incredible moment in history, and Barney Leone was there watching the iconic raising of raising of the American flag atop Mount Suribachi through a pair of binoculars from the ship. As he passed the binoculars, Barney looked at the war and weather-beaten flag of his own ship and knew that in its condition, it would likely be burned. Barney asked and received permission from the quartermaster to take the flag, which he was granted so long as he told no one. Barney safely stored that flag away in his closet where it sat for 65 years. In addition to Iwo Jima, Barney was also involved in the liberation of China and the Okinawa campaign. After the war, the Nemasket went to Shanghai, where World War II ended for Barney. He then moved back to New York City to work for the transit system for a couple of years. before eventually settling in Ohio, where he became a preacher. It was here where he met the love of his life, Phyllis. Apparently, Phyllis had been talking with Barney's mother while he was off serving in the war and fell in love with Barney sight unseen. They were married for 56 years. Eventually, the Leones moved to California to be with their children. Barney became a revered member of Wings Over Wendy's, a group of veterans in West Hills that I think most of us here are familiar with. He was introduced to Wings Over Wendy by another iconic member of the group, Leon Waldman, who actually went to the same high school in the Bronx together. He was a beloved member of Wings Over Wendy's. Barney always greeted people with a smile, an incredible sense of humor, until his passing on February 26th. He was 99 years old and passed away peacefully in his sleep. To Barney, we love you. We thank you for your service, and we always think of you fondly. Fair winds and following seas. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lee, and thank the family of the family and associates of Mr. Leone for being with us today. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you so much. Mr. Blumenfield, so sorry.
I remember Barney's smile, and I'd like to be added on to that, please.
All right. Others? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you so much, everybody.
Not even one folder for Barney. Not a one. Look at him, Spindler. Look at Spindler, the double fuck yous. Oh, let's pan up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pan up so they don't see it. Guys, I have a little time I wanted to ask you guys in the room before you guys start going out. You know, I had to go the other day. Remember, we were watching the box truck chase, and we went till the end, and nothing much happened really after I passed it to you guys. But we also missed some of the calls on, the second half of the calls on Wednesday. If you want, we can play it really quickly. I can find it. And it's up to you guys. You let me know. If not, I'll take off and I'll see you later. Friday? Question mark? Yes. Did I say Friday? I meant Wednesday if I said that. We missed it Wednesday. Because we were watching that, then the chase popped off, and we had to go from that, which we always do. Okay. That was what, 3-6? So yeah, 3-6, I believe. 24. Okay, I see it right there. Now, again, I'm guessing right here that this is where it's at. I don't know. Well,
it was clear what Kevin De Leon was doing with mass mailers a year ago.
Okay, hold on.
And there was an amendment by the council to prevent censured members
For empty office.
Procedural.
My name is Lena.
Caller, please.
1 minute for general public.
Is the leader of including any alter. Congratulations and
to families that cross the.
In the city council.
All right, we'll start here.
Humongous. The ethics have gone out the window ever since it became the new normal. Ever since there was somebody who was killed who was on the union negotiating team for the city the city of LA's negotiations for the union. A woman's son was killed at a marijuana clinic back in 2008. And that was never solved. But we know who the murderer was. We may not know who the murderer was, but we know who ordered the hit.
Wait, what?
We have one of the largest drug dealers in America, in all of America, right here in LA County. It's great. It's all about
That's your time.
healthcare
Thank you so
labor.
much, Mr. Sachs. We're going to now go to phones. There are 13 callers on the line, 1-3. 13 callers on the line. They'll have a minute each. So let's go to the phones.
Caller, what items would you like to speak on?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. You have 1 minute for
Hello?
general public
Okay,
comment.
great. Okay, good. All right, I wanted to talk on item 22, retail theft money. Item or 1C, which allocates $2.7 million for Peregrine Systems Inc. for real-time decision operations management. Well, according to Wiki, PSI went bankrupt in 2004 after executives were prosecuted for fraud. So if you use the language of the Police Commission attachment, what comes up is a company called Peregrine Technologies. And that firm was started by Palantir alumni, which was used, that's Peter Thiel firm, which was used to help the Trump administration try and prosecute families that crossed the border. They used that technology to try and map out the family relations of the children. So I don't know which system the LAPD wants to use, but people in the LA City Council really might want to analyze the proposals in item 22, because it just seems like they want to rubber stamp spying technology, which has been used for inappropriate purposes. So relook at that.
Caller, your
Thank
time
you.
has expired. Next caller.
Caller, what items would you like to speak on? Caller ending in 5869, please press star 6 to unmute.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. You have 1
Shout
minute.
out to Damon.
That's Laguna.
Scan. Love you guys. Shout out to Mr. Spindler and Goat Puppet. Really about all I had to say. Thank you all. Bye.
Next caller.
Caller, what items would you like to speak on?
As soon as he said that, he's flicking the camera off. Spindler.
Caller ending in 1881, please press star 6 to unmute.
Spindler got
Yes.
fans. Spindler got fans.
Hold on, caller. Mr.
Mr.
Sachs, we need you to not interrupt this meeting. So this is your first and only formal warning. Go ahead, caller.
Mr. Sachs is so awesome.
Yes, public comment, please.
The great pander.
Is it okay to go?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 1 minute now. To the winners, congratulations. And remember what the great Abraham Lincoln said, do I not crush my enemies when I make them my friends? To the challengers, thank you for challenging and trying to make this the city even greater. And to Mr. Richard Serrano. Mr. Serrano, you may not have won the 6th District Council office, but you, sir, are our honorary mayor, and we hope that you will lead us in keeping corruption out of the 6th District, and we look forward to your leadership in that. And to Mr. Kokorian, God bless you, and buddy, I'm going to miss you. You know, we fought, but you were always an honorable man and someone that I respected. I just didn't like the fact that Martinez was still in the council office. Thank you.
Next caller.
Caller, what items would you like to speak on?
Caller, how does my
Hi,
vagina
this is
look?
Andrew Rudick for general comment.
Go ahead. You have 1 minute.
I'd like to state that I've reached out to CD13, the Department of Cultural Affairs, the City Attorney's Office, the Bureau of Engineering, and others regarding a potential legal issue with star installations on the Walk of Fame. Section 22.109 of the LA's Charters Code states that any work of art under control or ownership of the city, including any alterations to such art or work of a permanent character, requires the majority vote of Department of Cultural Affairs commissioners, which hasn't been happening. I hope the city attorney will expeditiously inform the board, CD13, and council members if 22.109 supersedes the language of LAMC 28.04B, or if they're in conflict. The next Walk of Fame ceremony is this Friday. It's also 1,155 days since January 6th, and the city is still choosing to honor the insurrectionist Donald Trump on its sidewalk when it can choose otherwise. Thank you.
Emotional damage.
I'm going to be Arnold Sachs for Halloween.
Caller, what items would you like to speak on?
Thank you. It's Eric Previn. Can I get some time for the items as well? Because I was in the queue and you said you'd call everyone.
So the public comment on the items has been closed, but you have your 1 minute for general
Right,
public
but you
comment.
closed it when you knew I was in. Okay, you knew I was in the room when you closed it, so you're an asshole, and I'll comment on the item. Abbas Kawadian is the leader. This is a guy who was very charming outwardly, but conveyed literally, and in English. I want all the progressive council members and new people, even McCosker, to listen. He said he did not like the public. He didn't feel that the public should even come to city council. And he worked tirelessly to trick the public. He had 3 committees at the exact same time. We were like, what? He moved the pernicious lien items up into a secret lair where Krikorian and Englander massacred people and took all their money, where the public couldn't even get there. And then he engineered this idea with Krikorian that you'll have committee meetings like item 40 today, where you're working on the city market project, and you say you took public comment, but did you take virtual public comment during committee? Growth?
Did you?
Growth? Why is your head getting larger? No, you didn't. So you didn't really take public comment, and you don't take it here because it's in the section marked, go fuck yourself, courtesy of a Vosquadian.
Next caller.
Fucking spicy.
Caller, what items would you like to speak
He
on?
was spicy. Shout out to Eric Previn.
Well, I'd like to speak on the items I signed up for. Is this an opportunity to do that?
Good morning. So you have 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin.
Well, I was just asked which items, and I too was kicked out of this. So you guys are going to get sued if you mess with that. DanielGus.substack.com explains why they keep picking me and Eric Previn and other people who write about corruption in City Hall. I have a story last week called LA's Next Corruption Scandal, in which we question why Nithya and Hugo and Unisys have agreed to co-govern their roles in the city of Los Angeles in exchange for a quid pro quo endorsement from the DSA. That is bribery. That's not doing something because of an endorsement. It is quid pro quo when you agree to share power to run your office. That's why Curran Price is under indictment. And by the way, I have reason to believe that Curran Price is going to get hit with witness tampering. How about that?
Beep.
Caller, please press *6 to unmute.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
All right, first of all, fuck the city council. Congratulations to nobody. Congratulations to Richard Serrano for really being the only person that had the balls to stand up for like a write-in candidacy, to make a point, to say that the people are standing up, that they want to be heard, that we know you're not listening to us. And I want to see more energy like that. I support Richard Serrano and whatever he's doing right now. Shout out fucking none of y'all. LA Valley Gun Club is looking for new members. Email us at lavalleygc@gmail.com or lavalleygunclub@gmail.com. If you don't use it, you lose it in terms of Second Amendment, and you don't have a First Amendment unless you have a second. Make sure we know, make sure we take the city back properly. These people are not going to let us have it. They're going to let us all die. Thank you, and let freedom ring.
Let freedom ring.
Next caller.
Caller ending in 6019. Please press *6 to unmute.
They don't care. They're out back smoking a joint, eating a granola bar
Hello, can you hear me?
that you paid
Yes,
for.
you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Good morning. I actually was also one that was on queue to speak, but I also was cut off. I'm not sure as to why. My name is Lena. First, I'd like to say congratulations to Councilperson John Lee. I am a constituent in your jurisdiction in Chatsworth. I also would like to say thank you to your staff, Joshua and Kathy, in working so diligently to get rid of and prepare for the RVs to be removed yesterday from off of Oso. It was a big undertaking, and it was done. I saw feces. I saw needles. I saw so much stuff all over there, which is a 5 to 7 minute walk to Superior Primary School. Unfortunately, the neighborhood sphere has come to light already. An RV is already back today. I appreciate all what you all are doing for all of this. However, without something as a follow-up, management, as something to say we need to take care of this, not just for 24 hours, what a disappointment for all that effort yesterday. And
Caller, your time has expired.
Backed up, huh, BJ? Nice.
Call in user 3. Please press *6 to unmute.
Yes, please allow Mr. Previn and Mr. Gus to speak. And to the LAPD who came up Reseda Boulevard and chased off all the little druggies. Thank you, LAPD. Let's get rid of those druggies on Reseda Boulevard.
That's the panderer.
Next caller.
Making a play at a different voice. His voice is too distinct.
Are we on?
Caller ending
Hello, are we-
in 01.
Caller, you have 1 minute.
Maybe, Tank.
Are we on? Hello, are we on?
Yes, go ahead.
Good, thank you. Just curious, why did it take a recent LA Times article to jumpstart independent redistricting commission, council district expansion, and increased independence for the ethics commission? But the issue that was left out was wasteful spending, like the council member who moved her offices from Sherman Oaks to Studio City before the long-term lease ended. Taxpayers have paid tens of thousands of dollars for empty office space. Why? That same senselessness led to last November's disastrous council votes on rent increases and approving the private school, Harvard Westlake, to destroy a 70-year-old HCM in Studio City and build its own self-serving super school sports complex. It's time. It's time for this council to fix its own house before it tries to fix the city's. I'm Louis Sanford, CD4. Let's bring common sense back to city government.
Sanford.
Caller ending in 4208. Please press *6 to unmute.
Hey, it's Rob Kwan. Can we get that side convo over there with Mr. Krikorian down a little bit? I just want to say to Goat Puppet, enjoy it while it lasts in CD4. Ethan and his Police Protective League pals are shitting bricks right now, seeing Councilmember Rahman within striking distance of ending this thing in the primary. Either way, not looking good for Ethan and a bigger, more diverse electorate. Want to turn to a Vox was speaking about before Grote cut me off. And it was clear what Kevin De Leon was doing with mass mailers a year ago. And there was an amendment by the council to prevent censured members from sending mass communications. That package was passed by the full council. Yet CLA never brought back that report. Just like that 4118 report, Krikorian's putting his thumb on the scale and having the CLA stand down. Now we have Kevin dumping 1.1 million pieces of mail, $500,000. Amazing. And on John Ferraro and the Vox, he could tell you about ethics.
They cut him off.
Caller ending in 6281.
Sorry, Rob.
Please press *6 to unmute.
Dunked you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm calling for public comment. I'm calling for an investigation to LA Animal Services
Okay.
for their neglect of animals and for their lying, and they need to be investigated. GM, General Manager Stacey Daines for Ethics Committee, you all know what's going on, and you all are turning a blind eye. There was a news report that was a false news report after a letter went out. It's a sad day when the animals can't even get treated in the halfway humane way. It needs to be advised that LA Animal Services is killing for space. There is no lie about that. The taxpayers need to know that there is one shelter in Mission Hills that we paid for that is given away free and utilities paid for. From
Caller, your time has expired. Next
Shout
caller.
out to the doggies and kitties.
Caller ending in 3784. Please press *6 to unmute.
Do it for the animals.
All right. So for my general public comment,
Ooh,
which is happening as
under over 10.
at the beginning of the meeting, are we right? I mean, 90 minutes into the meeting, and after you voted on everything, that counts as at or near the beginning of the meeting, doesn't it, Paul? Not that he's even there. But yeah, Kevin lost badly in the election. Yes, he's technically in first place, but that's just because there's 7 other candidates. He got 27.15%, he's going to lose in a landslide in the runoff. I mean, he doesn't even have a chance, I don't think. I mean, it's going to be, this is so embarrassing for Kevin. No one in CD14 likes you, Kevin. You're going to lose badly. It's over. Your political career is over. Why don't you just resign now? You're going to lose.
Caller, your time has expired.
Oh, 8. Winners under.
Caller ending 5686. Please press star 6 to unmute.
Hi, good morning. I'm ready to begin my general public comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, City Council. I would like to ask if this city can look into collaborating with neighboring city jurisdictions when it comes to policing, because if LAPD does not have enough dispatchers at their station, let's work on working with neighboring cities and have them take the dispatch calls. Second thing I like to see done is if we don't have any LAPD officers to respond because they're too busy, I would like the City Council to look into collaborating with other city police departments in neighboring jurisdiction of Los Angeles to temporarily respond to the scene of a crime taking place and take over and wait until LAPD.
Thank you, Tavish. Happy Friday to you. Thank you for the dono. Happy
All right, we'll go to our last caller.
Well, if you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here,
Caller
crime.
ending 7255. Please press star 6 to unmute.
President Marquise, City Attorney, please, a point of order, please. 37 through 53 were voted on. Paul Kokorian voted on that. He should have recused himself because he is the landlord. I think you need to do that vote. Vice knew he had to. How come Paul voted on it? Sorry, can you guys please redo that vote? Sorry for being the kind of city council person that would pay attention. To the city of Los Angeles, thank you for understanding. This isn't about me. I don't want the soft rail because it impacts Arleta and Pacoima. LAPD and the fire department agree. Response time is none. Now we go back to what side of the tracks do you live on? And since Monica Rodriguez lives in Granada Hills or Woodland Hills, Mission Hills, Imelda lives in Sun Valley, it doesn't affect them. So please, think about the small community.
Caller, your time has expired.
All right, that concludes general public comment, both in person and by telephone. Clerk, what's next?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
So that's what we missed, ladies and gents. That is what we had missed just yesterday. Let's do this for a second. Take a look. This shit, yeah, man. At least we got that in, the part we missed during the great box truck chase. Shout out to the battle trucks, Mr. Tire, the new ledge. Shout out to him. But yeah, man, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Remember, we'll be on live tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our normal Freaky Friday crime wave here in Los Angeles. So I gives you plenty of time to go out and get what you need, eat dinner, eat breakfast, all that good stuff, lunch, whatever it is for you. And, you know, give you time to come back. And hopefully you can hang out with us tonight. Hopefully we get us a chase. I'm actually hoping like 7:55, right before we normally go on. Get us a chase. It'd be perfect. Thank you, Chase Gods. A televised chase by 7:55. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Hopefully you can join us tonight. If you can't, I understand. Have a fantastic weekend. Come back to us safe and hang out with us on the next one. Thank you for everybody who donated. Thank you for everybody who donated a thumbs up. I'm out of here for now. Have a great day.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Bye, y'all.